Hello YouTube, this is Skating for Satori. Today I thought I'd do a follow-up video on my middle-aged skate dad skateboard setup with all of you. I continue to skateboard at the age of 48 and I'm able to get out to the skate park with my son about 4 to 6 times a week. At the last video that I posted about a year and a half ago, I was riding the real 50/50 board that you see pictured third from the bottom. I continued to ride that for about another year and also rode the same setup with the indies and bones as mentioned in that video. I also picked up another deck, which is the AntiHero XXL model, and it is in the same dimensions as the real deck below it. I believe it's because they're made by the same company. They're both distributed by Deluxe Distribution in San Francisco. So both boards are 8.75 inches wide, 32.75 inches long, and both have a 14.62 inch wheelbase, and both have nose length is 7.25 inches and tail is 6.75. Only difference was that I had the indies on the reel, and I rode that for like when I was trying to do more tricks inside the bowls and at the skate park. And I had the Ace 55s on the AntiHero deck with the Bones Clear 60 millimeter SPF formula. And both trucks had Bones medium bushings on the bottom and Bones soft bushings on top. And I rode the AntiHero when I wanted to ride a little bit faster and carve more speed lines in the bowls. And so I continued to interchange both of them over the last maybe year to year and a half. I continued to ride both of them since I like them, riding both of them. So I picked up on sale the independent trucks that you see on the AntiHero now. They are Reynolds Hollows in 159, and I continued to ride Bones SPF formula. I think those wheels are size 58 millimeters. So I'll switch the trucks off both of them back and forth, and depending on which board I want to ride. In January this year, I picked up the Santa Monica Airlines Bennett Harada deck that you see pictured there, second from the bottom. What's unique about this board is that each board is hand painted or hand stained. So no two are ever alike. They're shaped the same, but the color scheme and the way that the paint is laid out on the board, each one is very, very unique. And the Bennett board that you see there, it is 9 inches wide by 32.75 inches long. This one has a 15.25 inch wheelbase. The nose length is 6.75 inches and the tail is 7 inches. I originally had the Ace 55s that you see there on the bottom board on that deck, and I enjoyed really riding that for the last 5-6 months. This board, it was really good. It felt good right away, especially for what I like to ride, which is the bowls, and it felt very, very stable. I was able to do a lot of board slides on it. Concave was good. The shape was good. The angle of the tail was really good. So it felt really stable when I also tried to ride fast as well. And then the board felt good enough that despite tearing my calf muscle virtually in half about a year and a half ago, and most days I'm not able to ollie, but it felt good enough that I wanted to try ollieing, so I was able to ollie and do like a frontside 50/50 grind for the first time in like a year and a half. So yeah, I think this board is a really good board. You get what you pay for, and it's I would really recommend it. The current rider that I have now is the Powell-Peralta Andy Anderson flight deck that you see pictured on the bottom. This board is very, very unique, as is the pro who rides it. It is sized for bowl. It is shaped for freestyle, so it sits primo. And also it's balanced for street. So apparently, according to the videos I've seen of Andy Anderson, this board has a weight distribution of 50-50. This board is 9.13 inches wide, 32.8 inches long. It has a 15-inch wheelbase, and both the nose and tail are 6.8 inches long. So originally I had the independent trucks on there in 159. However, just for the first maybe 5-6 sessions, it just did not feel good. It didn't turn the way that I wanted it to. I didn't feel confident. I didn't feel comfortable on it. So I have since then switched to the Ace 55s, and I kept the medium bushing on top and the soft bushing, the medium bushing on the bottom and the soft bushing on top, so I can ride a little bit looser truck, and kept the Bones Clear 60mm and SPF formula and Bronson raw bearings on this. And then I continued to use a 1/8 inch riser and shake junt hardware, as well as mob grip. So this board, really, since changing to the Ace trucks, I really started liking it. I also tried riding it without using any rails. I've ridden a single pig rail for the last couple boards, and I really got used to that. So when I tried riding it without a rail, what happened was, as the board condition, the paint started wearing off, and depending on whether there was wax on the coping or there wasn't wax on the coping, it would either slide out too fast, or like it would hit a rough spot on the board and then it would pitch me into a bale. So I've since then put the pig rail on this board like my other boards, and it has felt much more stable. The only other thing about this board, despite liking it, is that the angle of the tail was harder for me to get used to, especially coming from a little bit steeper tail on the Bennett board above, as well as the Popsicles you see pictured above. So there were some times in the first initial sessions that I felt that my foot was about to fall off, or in fact, in some cases it did fall off, because it does have a squared tail, and I'm used to that round tail. So when I wanted to put my foot back a little bit more, a couple times on frontside cars, my foot fell off, and then I slammed pretty hard. So just a learning curve. I don't think it's necessarily the board, it's just how I was riding and used to the way my boards rode. So it just took a little bit of an adjustment period. One last board I wanted to introduce to you today is the Hosoi Hammerhead that you see pictured there. I purchased this a long time ago. I rode it around a little bit, but it was mostly to be as a wall hanger and more out of nostalgia. But I've recently put it back together and riding it a little bit more. I believe this is a Hosoi 2014 Cadillac model. The dimensions on this board are 9.25 inches wide by 32.5 inches long, and this board has a 15-inch wheelbase. The components that I have on there are Indy 149 regulars with the Bones soft bushings, and the wheels are Type S Christian Hosoi Tribute wheels. Those are size 60mm in 98A, and spinning the wheels around are Bronson G3 bearings. I have rib bones on there, shake junt hardware, and mop grip. For this board, I really like it, but it makes you want to ride like Christian Hosoi, but you also start to realize that you're a middle-aged skate dad, so although you may think you're Christian Hosoi, unless your name is Hosoi, this board is relatively hard to ride. But all the boards that you see pictured here, I ride them as regularly as I can, and I truly enjoy skateboarding and also riding each and every one of these boards. Should you have any questions regarding my setups, please feel free to reach out to me through this YouTube channel, and I look forward to seeing everyone at the skate park.